We have one other person that's on our North Texas Single Family Mentor team who also invests here in North Texas, and we're going to invite him up to the stage. And Adrian is going to come on up, and he's going to actually be presenting his own property this evening. So we're going to be introducing his portfolio. So come on up.
Come on up here, Adrian. Here we go. Let's go. What do you have, an entourage with you?
Well,
you have music? Oh my gosh. There's a first. He wants music. That is funny.
Adrian goes by another name sometimes too, so.
That is fun. What's with this towel crap?
Nice.
I know you guys can't see yet because he's not up here yet. He's throwing out towels. I don't know why he's throwing out
Black
towels.
Elvis, y'all. Black Elvis. Give it up for Black Elvis.
Black Elvis. Okay. Is that
right.
Elvis music playing?
Yes, that's Elvis.
That's
music
not
playing.
Biggie.
No, he's Biggie, I'm Tupac, and Adrian's
And now
Elvis.
we have Black Elvis. Okay. Come on up here,
Ready.
Adrian.
She wasn't ready. I'm out of towels.
You have
All right,
a whole
y'all.
entourage with you. That's funny.
All right. How you doing?
All right.
Welcome.
All right. So people, some people know me in here, but I go by Black Elvis. All right. And the reason why is because the day Elvis passed, I forgot to put on my shades. Right? That's too late. But the day Elvis passed was the day I was born. Now you got to keep in mind there was no social media. All right. So when he was discovered, pronounced dead, his team had to drive down, all right, from Memphis to Mississippi to let my mom know it was okay for me to come. All right. So I was born in my grandmother's bed, right? True story, facts. And so I still have that bed. So it's in my guest room. If you ever want the Elvis experience, you can stay tonight. So I'm trying to get an exhibit up there in Graceland, but Anna Marie won't call me back. But listen, it's okay. It's facts. Just kidding. I don't have that bed. But I was born in the bed. But yeah. So it's exciting. I guess you know that I'm started the mentor, right? But I've been doing it for years. Now, I've been always helping people, helping members. Some of you guys have been in lifestyle long enough to know I've always kind of been around and helping and talking about it and stuff like that.
Well, give us a little bit of your background.
Yeah.
So I'm a teacher.
Your background, what you did.
Teacher.
Yeah, teacher, I remember.
I was a teacher.
What'd you teach?
Computers, like career technology.
I remember, yeah.
And so I did that, and for like I was in education for 17 years. Thanks to Dave, he helped me retire. I was teacher of the year, and then quit.
Yep.
You know what? I remember in his last day of work, he had to go in there and say, I have an eye infection. They go, what do you mean you have an eye infection? I can't see myself working here anymore, right?
I couldn't do it. So it was a special moment because we had a great year because I was teacher of the month. The superintendent came in and awarded me. And then months later, I was teacher.
Was that up here in Dallas? What school?
Yeah, I worked in Dallas, Fort Worth, and but this current Arlington is.
Okay.
Yeah, and so teacher of the year, and then I got special recognition of teacher of the year. So it was an honor to do that and to be able to walk away on a highlight.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yeah.
Tell us a little about your family quick.
This is my wife. She's never kind of around most of the time because she's always with the kids. And but this is my beautiful wife, and she was just a little bit about the story. She was in 2016. I was at a friend's house, and then a coworker, and he was getting ready to have a child, and another friend, so we were just in the backyard talking, and I was like, man, I don't want to retire. I was like getting ready to be 40. I was like, I don't want to wait till 65 to retire. And he was telling us, one of the friends was telling us about he had some rent houses and stuff. And I was like, wow. Okay, so because I'm Dave Ramsey, got the 2 paid for houses. And so I'm like, well, I can buy a house, pay it off, buy a house, because we had paid off the first one in 2 years, the second one in less than 3. And so I was buy houses, pay it off, and in 15 years or so, I can have 7 houses.
Yep.
And retire at 55. And so thought about that for a little while, and then I met Dave. And so I was like, let me, come back to life, circle back around, because I heard about it years ago. And I came in January, And so my wife, I told her to come. Now she's pregnant. She's 7 months or so, 7, 8 months. And so she comes in February. Well, I watched, we had the first one. And she, I think the first day by lunchtime, she's like rock star, killing it, like excited. And she gives her, so she has to pee. And she say, listen, okay, take my phone, talk to my husband, tell him to join. And she goes off to pee. And so I'm talking to Dave. I'm like,
I don't know.
She's like,
crazy Jamaican lady.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It was an awkward moment. We became friends since then, but, but it was an awkward moment just having her too.
Yeah, we met over a pee phone call.
Yeah. She was literally.
Maybe those weren't towels. Maybe they're the pens you're throwing.
Yeah. But they are soft, right? They are soft. So she wanted to homeschool the kids, and so I didn't want to wait 25 years, so I joined Lifestyles, and so we were. And now you got to keep in mind, I'm a teacher. I'm making about $4,500, and so my insurance a month, and my insurance went up like $1,400, adding the kids. So I'm making like $3,000 now. And so we're leaving 6 figures on the table, you know what I'm saying? And she's talking about staying at home. So I needed some cash flow. But that was my whole reason, because initially we were going multifamily, but because I needed the cash flow, and at that time we was getting real good cash flow. Mm-hmm. And I needed the cash flow, so we decided to end up going single family first. Right. And so that's what I'm gonna talk about. Like the thing you don't hear now, this is a good point. You always hear we're debt free. I done that. I called Dave, screamed that I'm debt free. But I still had to go to work with 2 paid-for houses. But
yeah, you're debt-free, but you still have to go to work on Monday with Dave Ramsey, right?
And I'm still having to teach. And so, but what you don't hear, those people that called in, you ever hear about where they at? What I like is now you get to see where I'm at as one of the examples. Because, the people that came like in 2017, they had a chance, to meet me. What is he doing now? So this is why, excited about that. Yeah, it's a case study. Yep. So these are the houses that I had. One house, the lemon, I bought this before I got married, and basically got married, stayed in it for a little while, and we end up buying another house. And so, our personal house now. And so we just, houses. By default, we just kind of made it a rental.
A lot of people become what's called accidental landlords. A lot of military do this. They go from one base to another. They keep the house, turn a rental, just like this. You have a house, hey, let's turn a rental, let's buy this house instead.
Yeah, and so
you did the Dave Ramsey plan, so you're buying them all cash.
Yeah.
Just work up 20 years, get money, boom. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so we pretty much bought our next house, so we made that a default rental. And it was, so we understood that, the renting and cash flow and stuff like that, we knew it worked. It made sense. We just didn't know how to do it like the right way. And so joint lifestyles, came in joint lifestyles. So February, we end up, I think, signing up. I think my wife came in up signing up because Dave told me to. It's hey,
good to listen to Dave.
Always, online people, make sure when you see them, say, "Where's that pregnant woman's phone?" But so we end up buying the first one we bought. Now this is interesting. We bought this one the day before my son. You'll see a picture when he was a baby. The day before he was born, literally the day before he was born, we closed on this house. The next day, her water broke. So we bought Hedgewood. This was her little baby because we took her retirement money and bought this one. Mm-hmm. All right, and so so that was like April. Then right before my 40th birthday, I bought these 5 all in one day. So
Could you imagine that going from this to boom, 5 in one day?
Yeah, like I was like, and I want to take you.
Because he learned, just so you understand the differences, Dave Ramsey, you save up 10, 15 years to buy one. He comes to my seminar, he learns, it's instead of one house, I can buy 5 with the same amount of money? Oh, hell yeah. That's what he did.
Literally. Because we pretty much cashed out those 2 houses, took about $250,000, had about $100,000. And so we pretty much did that and bought those 7 in a year. But bought those on one day, turned 40. It was so interesting because the person, when the notary came to our house to close, she was like, I've closed 5 houses in a day, but I've never closed 5 with one person in one day. You get what I'm saying?
She didn't know you were Black Elvis. That's why.
Yeah, she had to get a clue. So, but you know, it's a funny story. I know it's probably embarrassing, but my mother-in-law, she was in town, you know, because we were, like I said, just having a baby and stuff, and different family members coming in town. And so I'm signing these paperwork, and I know she was like, what is he doing? Because we didn't like really share at the time our financial situation. And I know she probably was interested and wanted to know. I was like, oh, you know, me and your daughter just closed on 5 houses. And she kind of looked at me like, yeah, and turned around and walked away. And so she came the next day. She was like, you know, I want to apologize because I didn't think you were literally buying 5 houses. Like, who does that, right? And so it was so funny, and it was an amazing time because, you know, I want to bring you back. I really want you to get this. I'm sitting in your seats. I'm totally, you know, afraid. I got a child on the way. You understand? I'm a teacher, and I'm losing income, and I'm making less income as a teacher. I really love what I do, but I'm, you know, losing income. And so they're dependent on me. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to figure out, like, how I'm going to take care of this family. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, you know, just that belief and trusting that it's going to work out. And it really worked out, you know. And sometimes when you get the houses and it seems like nothing's really moving, but that's why I say it's good to look when, you know, you can see a year out, 2 years out, you know, and see how things progress and like, we really did make a difference. So these are the houses. And right before my son turned 1, we purchased Villa Del Rey and closed it out with 71 years. 71 years.
There you go.
Yeah.
71 year was who good is that? A pretty good start. Yeah. Remember I said you go and you play Monopoly. He played it wrong because he didn't buy 4 and buy the red one. He bought 7.
Yeah. So, and make sure I don't forget about the point about selling.
About selling? Okay.
Because you made a good point earlier. I want to bring it back.
Okay.
Make sure I don't forget.
Okay.
And so go to the next slide. All right. So I didn't have to, because they were in nice condition. I already had renters. I didn't have to rehab before I purchased. But when I got ready to sell, and I sold 3, and I sold one in February right before COVID, because the next month COVID, and I was like, you know, oh Lord, am I gonna sell these next? You know, I had 2 rehab, and so, but these are some examples, so I can show you like after.
So it looks like is this a yard sale?
So basically, after about 7 years or so of my first house, and now, you know, when you lived in a house, you took care of it, it's your baby. And I'm telling you, they trashed this house so bad that I was literally nervous. I was scared to walk in there. I was like, I was shaking. I was like, let me get up out of here. You know, just the vibes. And I was like, can it be restored? I mean, because they like trashed it. I mean, where's how long were you living in there with no carpet? Like, I had carpet in there, right? But like, how long? Really? No, seriously, like, okay. But we redid it, we'll talk about this later, finishing touches, but they came in and redid the bathroom. The
finishing touches is one of the lifestyles contractors. They did everything. You didn't lift the hammer. You just wrote a check.
How
many can write a check? Pictures. That's all we do. We don't do the work.
Wrote checks. So, and basically they did an amazing job. You can see, you know, it was so nice that I wanted to go back and live in it. You know what I mean? It was because, I mean, it was better than I ever, you know. I thought it was nice when I left, but it was real nice. And, you know,
did you change your tenant screening process at all after you?
So basically, because I inherited tenants, well, keep in mind, this was the first one I had that.
This is before Dave Fisher's screening process I taught you.
Yeah.
So you got we call purple Martians.
I think
so just so you know, I will teach you how to mitigate that risk. Who likes that? The most important part of the weekend is me teaching you how to screen so you can avoid the headaches. Who likes that idea? Yeah.
So perfect. And so we inherited, and then the houses that I bought, I inherited. Right. So, you know, you have to follow through and let them have the contract and everything. Yeah. So we finished this one up and sold it. So, because, okay, I could talk about this point now. I know it's like squirrel, but,
this is what, if you come to my seminar this weekend, I'm going to talk about there's 2 personality types, an A and a B. That's an A. That's it, okay?
And so we had, we were getting ready to sell because I came to a seminar again right before COVID, and you were saying, you know, it's a good life or it's a great life, and the only way you can have a great life is to get rid of the good one. And I'm gonna tell you, that cash flow was really amazing. You get what I'm saying? And so we had to tear down that empire, and now we're building our new empire.
So what he's bringing up is, remember a couple minutes ago I said in a speech, the hardest rule to teach is you can't get rich slow. Giving up what you have, what you can. He's making all this money on these houses. He didn't want to give it up. He finally, like, I replaced my job's income. Yeah. And I'm saying, now sell it all and double it again. Well, it's hard, right?
And the thing is, we've lived on probably six figures, probably 60 each, when we first got married. Only thing we were able to save probably in 10 years is probably about $500,000. Last 4, either I worked or my wife worked in 4 years, and probably most of that it was only one person.
Right. So you lost one income, because
yeah,
kids.
And you'll see the amazing return we got by not working with the investments in a minute. Okay?
See, so who likes the idea of being lazy and making more money? There you go. That's what it's all about.
All right, let's go to the next slide. Now, this is a beautiful one. This house, when I bought it, I think it was like $165. And what happened, it was really worth a little bit more, but because they didn't have air conditioning and like a sunroom and a converted garage, they couldn't sell it, get the square footage. And so what I did was I went in knowing that if I added air, I can get more square footage, capture some of that equity after I get ready to sell it. So basically what we did was this sunroom, it was...
I'm a little upset because this was a beautiful green grass going in here.
Man,
you had a putting green,
listen,
you took that out.
And it was like something dead in there. I'm talking about some kind of foul, like
smell of money?
How can you get rid of that odor foul? Like, paint will paint do it. I don't know. But so what we did, it was a sliding glass door. And what's amazing is, so that's why you got to have a good team, because, and Finishing Touches did it, but one of the guys was like, hey, let's take the door out and make it like a one room. Because I was just going to take the door and, make it like a kind of separate room, but still same. But they was like, let's take it out. And now...
It made it bigger, made it nicer.
You see how this is one angle, and that's from the... So now you walk in it like it's just one room, versus I got 25,000 more on this house. And funny, I know, I think you were making a comment on social media about pests, because they left pests too.
Okay.
I can't even say cockroach or whatever.
You can say cockroach.
Okay, cockroach. But this house had cockroaches, whatever. I don't know. But I was like, you know what? I didn't mind going picking, like my wife. I was like, for 25,000, I'm gonna pick that up. But this is amazing transformation.
Who agrees? Does that look a lot nicer on the right?
That's beautiful.
Give him a hand. He didn't do anything, but that's okay. He had the guys do it for him. That's the whole point.
Most of these rehabs, because of the time, I know they're a little bit more now, but they're about 30,000-ish, something plus or minus. So
this you made all that money in 4 years.
4 years. This is the 5th year, but I made the money. I was turned millionaire 4 years.
Give him a hand. He became a millionaire.
That's awesome.
So basically, like I say, I wanted to show you the whole story. And we, I don't know if you remember, I came to that 2-day, and Nicole, you were.
I was here.
Yeah. And so hanging out with her, and I'll be here this weekend. Black Elvis will be in the building this weekend if you're here. Saturday and Sunday, live and in person. But we start. So this is my first house, and keep in mind the number is the equity, but keep in mind I still had the 20%. Of, you put in
equity,
and so actually the number is a little bit higher when you think about the 20%. And that's the one we bought, the first one we bought the day before my son. So full circle, we just sold that this year, and we pulled out 160 equity. And so I didn't make as much on this one. This was one we got rid of. COVID hit. I was just trying to get the cash out because I was literally like, I don't know what's going to happen. So
right, you're scared. Yeah, I get it.
I get it. Yeah. Well, we were selling it. Mm-hmm. I could have kept it, but I was like, I'd rather have some cash in case I needed it. So it was more about,
it was an emotional decision.
Yeah.
Stop making emotional decisions.
Yeah. So, well, it was on the market to sell, just COVID hit.
Okay.
But Garden Springs, that's the one in Fort Worth. I still own this one. Golden Horn. Gray Fox, I still own that one. And yeah, that's the one you saw the, make the extra.
So here you ended up with 800,000.
Equity.
So the point is this, is what's important is what does it mean to you if you're out there watching this? This is what matters. His net worth tripled in 4 years. So take whatever you have, 100 grand, 200 grand, $500,000, and triple it. Give him a hand. That's huge.
That's phenomenal.
So, there you go. Next slide. And
Here we go.
so basically, this is kind of like, I just took one of the properties because, like I say, I just sold this one, but just to give you one idea of what I was making, on one property. So we were making about $1,700, 21 a year. Appraised value at the time I bought it. I didn't get a lot of equity at the time I bought it, but it was cash flowing crazy. And rehab was nothing. Like I said, I had renters already in there, just so happened to have renters. And I came out with about 37 on this one. Now you don't have to have property management, but I did add that part in there because some people do. I think you guys do. You self-manage.
Yeah.
I do, yeah, I self-manage, yeah.
So these guys more. Well, keep in mind I was a teacher, so I didn't have time to be on the phone, try to make arrangements.
So he paid somebody else to do that for him.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool.
And like I said, cash on, cash return, equity capture.
So let me summarize this really quick back to the monopoly analogy. I told you houses are around 30 grand out of pocket. So you see this here? I said they will cash flow between 200 to 600 a month. Are we in that number? So that's right at that like 500 a month. You understand that? So he put out 37,000. He's making 5 grand a year. Is that pretty good? Tax free. But here's the big number. Here's the life-changing number. He put out 37 grand to make 160,000. Give him a hand. That's what changed his life.
So what's cool about this is, what was I going to say?
160,000.
Yeah.
That's what's cool about
is
that,
cool.
yeah.
It is amazing. So, to get all that money back and, to keep your wife from spending it. No, I'm just kidding. I always think of John. He says, don't eat your seed coin.
That's true, yeah.
Like we can't eat our seed coin. But, because she gets excited. I think this, she looks at appliances. But let's go to the next one. And so this is my baby. Like I say, he was just born. Something amazing that I love that we're able to give more. We always gave, but we're able to give more. Like tonight, everyone with a towel, raise those towels, swing those towels. Listen, you come see me. Now, Dave, he tells you on Sunday what? What do you say on Sunday?
I'm really nice in my seminar. I will buy everybody Chick-fil-A on Sunday if you come to my seminar.
Well,
I got T-Rex arm, right?
Well, Black Elvis is buying you a Chick-fil-A sandwich, and you can go eat it any day. All right. You come see me, you get a Chick-fil-A gift card. All right. And I may have a few more for people that maybe ask a couple questions. All right. So, and if you sit next to a towel, feel free to get it. All right, because you get a free gift card. And so this is my babies. This is kind of where I'm at. This picture represents. This was the other day. When I was growing up, single family. My mom. It was two at the time. I had 2 brothers, and he passed. I had another brother. But growing up, the first part of my life, mom wasn't able to buy a whole lot, and to go to the store to get $5. I mean, it meant a lot. Had no allowance most of the time. I mean, Sonic, going home watching Dukes of Hazzard was. I mean, anybody know churches that, I think at the time, $5, $8 with the chicken and biscuit, whatever, dark meat, That's what I'm saying. That's where I come from. And to be able to take my kids to the store, it just means so, so much.
Changed your family tree forever.
Changed, man, changed. My kid he was running around one of the rent houses one time, and I was telling him, I was like, go ahead, baby. Run around this house because it's yours. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's just, that's the type of, life. So the Teacher Appreciation Week, me and my wife, really her, she was able to bake one day, not your mama banana pudding. She made sugar cookies next day, and she made oatmeal pies and different treats every day for Teacher Appreciation Week.
You're making everybody hungry.
Yeah, I know it. And so each day, and just to be able to, I was at the theater one time getting the popcorn. Anybody like the movie popcorn? And I seen a lady we were waiting in the wrong line.
See the Type A coming back out.
Yeah, I know, just all around. And so to be able to just, I know it's a small thing, but to buy her some popcorn, and just walk away. And she'd run out in the parking lot to find me, just because the thought being nice. But I'm saying when you got money, you don't.
You can bless others. That's awesome. I love that.
And
Give
so,
me a hand for helping others. That's what it's about.
And so, experience with the family. Anybody heard of Blippi? Well, he was in Florida, and my wife's from Florida. We went down there, but we were able to take the kids because they watched Blippi to make the connection of, okay, this is Blippi on TV, but now this is real life where Blippi was. So we went to like a little science museum.
I have no clue what Blippi is. I know who Homie the Clown is, but I don't know who Blippi is.
Not Blippi. All right, and then just to network with friends. All you guys are my friends. You know what I mean? So I like hanging out with you guys.
And I love that quote that you have up there too. That's
Just take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step.
That's true.
And
Taking action. That's good.
last one, single family mentor. You heard that. All right. So we'll be helping you guys, the ones that sign up, aspire and lead. I would like 200 doors on my own and other syndicated properties. And wife finally retired. And I want to develop a program for the youth, the troubled teenagers, teach them how to make the connection,
I love that.
making the right decisions, impact they can have on their life and help them change their family tree by becoming first generation wealthy.
You didn't have to put that supermodel on that picture.
Oh,
my wife! My smoking hot wife's on
well,
there.
let me tell
I
you.
thought you were
it's
talking
a
about the
story
one in
behind
the
that.
top picture.
She was at Expo. You can tell them about Expo, but she takes pictures. Like every year I'm seeing her, she takes pictures with everybody. I think she came up to someone.
She's Asian.
Yeah, well.
They take pictures.
Yeah, and so I'm like, so imagine like me and you talking. She would come up and take a picture with her, like you. And I think somebody was like, hey, hold my bag. And I'm thinking, I can't get in the picture, So every year I'm like, I want a picture. And so finally I got a picture. So yeah. So that's me and Dave and the wife and the missus. And me and her, I think it was a bus tour. So yeah. So I think it was But yeah, that's my story. So you can kind of see the whole full circle. Like I said, we're tearing down that old empire to build up a new empire. And so I imagine, in the next couple of years or so, you'll be able to see where I'm at then.
There you go. So you had some vendors you work with and some people you want to thank?
Oh, sure. Yeah, we've done a lot of deals because I told you we bought all those houses, Capital Concepts, Kerry. Greenworks. Where's he at?
Kerry Donovan over there. Good guy.
You.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. We done a lot of deals. I think maybe a refinance or two, and definitely 7.
You can't miss him because he's like 4 foot tall.
Yeah. So and they were able to get it closed. So 5 in one day. That's an amazing, and the close on time. That is an amazing. That team worked real well. Finishing Touches. The reason why I like them. One of the vendors. It's one thing when you're picking a vendor, especially Blake. It's a lot of deals that fell through. That's just the nature of the business. And for him to always, just willing to help and continue to just, work with me, even though maybe a deal didn't go through, I was like, you know what? I'm going to give you all 3 of these deals.
Okay.
So you're looking at $100,000 later just because of him not giving up on me.
Stepping up and helping each time.
Being there. Integrity. Got Lee in here, yeah. And so that's my main guy. He helps me.
He's an insurance guy. Yep.
Insurance guy. He helps me, like I say, he worked out so well with the houses. I mean, he's always on it. He's like, hey, okay, it's time to come to renewal and stuff. He's on it. Help me so well and other needs and other insurance. I think they do auto and other policies and can't think of the policy right now. I'm sorry, but yeah. So he's helped me and let me give a shout out to Sam.
Yep. Oh, Sam's actually here. Look at there he is.
Sam.
Man, that guy does a lot of houses.
We didn't get a chance to close, but I wanted to mention him because one deal is a really good deal, but it's just the nature of the business. But Sam is always, from very beginning, 2017, Sam, we've been hanging, right? And so we always welfare information. He's always helped me for like deals and stuff like that.
And you've bought hundreds of houses yourself too as an investor, right? So yeah, he's one of the realtors that's working with us here.
Yeah,
So.
Yeah.
He's
So
one of
Sam
Lifestyles Realtors. Yep.
Yeah.
Great resource.
So you ready to take some questions then?
Yeah.
Rick.
One
Yeah,
more,
give Rick a shout out.
I'm really here because of Rick. I did a case study with Rick right after about the first 6, and Rick got me up, and I was talking to Rick. So I'm in the office. It's funny.
Just so everybody knows, Rick Johnson is one of our single family mentors. He used to be in Dallas office. He's now one of our national mentors. He retired, so he went down to Florida. He got bored. Now he's mentoring again from down there. So
Yeah. So basically, I'm Rick now because
now you're Rick. Yeah.
Yeah. And
So you're like Slick Rick.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's people won't get that, yeah, but I got it.
I Gino got it.
Teenage love. But we were talking in the office right before the case study. I was like, man, I can see myself working for this guy. I literally said that and like put it out there, and it's so funny.
You put it out in the universe. Now you're up here.
Yeah,
You're gonna help others.
so-
Cool.
But yeah, let's take some questions.
There you go.
All right.
Any questions? If anybody got a question, raise your hand.
Don't forget. All right.
If you have anybody online in the back of the room, then I don't know if they got their microphones
Yes.
ready back there.
Yeah,
And
Mike.
so if we do have a question, wait a second because Ember's going to run up and give it to you. If not,
Where is that?
there's one right here.
Oh.
Exercise, run!
Running.
Amber. Is it Amber? Come here. Come here. Come here. No, just if they ask a question. Yeah. Like
Oh, you're giving out You don't got to bribe people to ask a question.
No. It's just like Amber.
What are you a Democrat? No, that's a joke.
It's a joke.
That's a joke.
All right.
So I see that you're firstly concentrated in Fort Worth. How did you end up buying one in Mesquite? Was that an accident?
Oh no, the like I say, what happened? I didn't choose them necessarily. The guy that was managing my properties, he like had occasionally houses that were for sale, just so happened, and he would just offer them to us, the people that he managed other properties.
So my main question is, I see that you have sold most of your portfolio, right? So what have you done with that money? Is that still in real estate, or you just cashed out?
The properties that I have, I'm waiting on to do a lead deal.
So he wants to buy a big apartment, bring in other partners right now. So I'm going to further state, because you made a statement about, that one's kind of far away. Why'd you do that? So I want you to understand, I have people watching from Israel. I have people watching from California. I have people watching from Hawaii. This is what we teach here at Lifestyles. All my mentors teach the same thing. Live where you want to live, invest where it makes sense. So if you can find a good deal, you don't need to be right next to it because, the contractor does all the work. The property manager does all the renting out. What do? Your job is just to pick the right deal by the numbers. They're not an emotional decision. So I have people from California will buy 10 or 15 houses here in, Dallas or Houston or San Antonio or Oklahoma, and they've never been to them and making great rates of return. So you don't have to live next to the properties. I want to make sure people understand. Go ahead, Amber. Go ahead.
If you don't mind, to add to that, the first house, because we were, nervous, we went to it and all that and met the, the inspector and all that. And so those 5, I didn't see most of them until years later. Like I stayed at my house. I told the inspector to call me. He did 2 on one day, 2 on one, and I was like, listen, I don't want to hear about cosmetic. I don't care about that. Tell me structurally, because like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, So just tell me if anything's wrong. He was, it's probably like $1,000. I'm like, I'm not gonna kill this deal for $1,000.
Right.
So I never saw something.
So you put your business hat on once you got it.
Yeah, I just like I didn't drive to Fort Worth and see it. I may have saw the outside, but because they were like kind of like by each other, but I didn't drive and see them after.
That's awesome.
I was comfortable. Yeah.
We got
after that
another
first deal, it was. Yes.
Hey, I was wondering 2 questions. First, where did you find your property manager, and is your property manager or management company primarily in the area, like Fort Worth area, or I'm a little
Go
afraid
ahead.
on how-
Yeah. And so basically, like I say, I didn't know Lifestyles. The realtor, when I bought my current house, she had a lot of properties that she was letting someone manage, and that guy I just let him manage mine.
And just so you know, we have several vendors that are property managers, like McCall Property Management. We have a whole bunch of them. They're on the tables back there. You can go to the vendor site and you can read reviews from the members. The members will give a positive or negative review, and that's a great way. I did 10 houses with this guy. He's great. He's on the phone all the time. Or if we get a couple negative reviews, what do? We take them off the vendor list. So that's a resource you have access to. Okay.
Yeah. And it's because they were close. It was easy to find them. Did you have another question or?
If we have one more,
Okay.
we got one more. Here we go.
Hi.
Wait, you're all the way from Austin. You're following me around. You're a Star Trek fan. Not that I remember everything. Sorry.
Thank you. Regarding the 5 houses that you purchased at once, Did you buy it from the same seller, or how is it that you acquired those? And did you get one mortgage, or each one had its own
Yeah,
mortgage?
each one had a different
Great
mortgage.
question.
Basically, it was just a transaction where I was doing 5. I think we just did just 5 separate transactions. Just happened to be, on the same day.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I don't
because,
know-
and just so you understand, because they already had renters in there, the debt to income ratio wasn't affected. He already had prior.
Yeah, and I
Right?
don't know if it was
Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to hit you.
because the real estate, the guy that managed him, he had a real estate agent. I don't know if the same person owned each house. I just know he had a package of 5, and we just did them individually. We just did them on one day, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you'll see sometimes there is a seller that's selling all of their properties for whatever reason. Sometimes they're moving into multifamily.
And we have an actual class on that. We actually have how to buy 10 houses in 10 months. Who likes that kind of class? And that's what happens when you come to Lifestyle. So we have classes like that.
All right.
All right, we're good to go. Well, let's give them a hand. Thank you.